Football's Britain's favourite game, watched by 30 million devoted fans every year.
That's a brilliant goal.
I do enjoy a game day. I get excited as much as the fans sometimes.
But when passions run this high,
Bullshit.
things can get out of control. So to keep everyone safe, all the professional clubs now work with a specialist football cop.
So the guys in the yellow and blue just do football. That is their full-time job.
Every club has got my equivalent. They've all got a dedicated football officer.
Across the leagues.
Fickle that, you loved me 2 minutes ago.
And for England games abroad.
I would just come away from here. Yeah.
The football cops are there to stop trouble before it starts.
Let's have him out, let's have him out.
Turn around that way. Turn around, keep walking.
Every Saturday when I'm a country, if there's no football policing, 100% it would be carnage.
Hey, Wizard! We're going to Wembley. You're not.
14,000 football fans are expected to be in Carlisle today for United's League Two playoff match. The club are taking on Bradford City and hoping for a win, which would see them at Wembley for the final next week.
It's the end of the season, and today the last 4 clubs with a chance of promotion to League One get whittled down to 2. Bradford are visiting Carlisle and Salford are heading to Stockport.
Carlisle boys are going up. Come on! I think it's going to be a 1-0 to Bradford, hopefully.
But the football cops know that with so much at stake, there could be trouble.
Come on, the Madams! Come on! City! City! City!
So keeping rival fans apart all through the day is the cops' top priority.
Well, you've got about 6 or 7 maybe medium risk there.
Both matches are rated high risk, so loads of extra police are in town, and the England football officers Stu and Wayne are also here to lend a hand.
So we're all here for Carlisle United versus Bradford City, which is the second leg of the playoff semi-final. At the leg last Sunday, there was issues in West Yorkshire where beer bottles and pint glasses were thrown. There was some fighting between the fans. So our job today is about the medium and the high-risk fans. It's about excluding them from ruining it from everybody else. There's a lot of football fans in the room. I'm a football fan. The boss is a football fan. We're here today to make sure those can come and enjoy the game, and we will deal with the minority who want to ruin that, and that is all we're here for today.
Right, we're good to go here.
Carlisle's dedicated football officer is Johnny Sunley.
Absolute huge Carlisle fan. I've got the dream job. Who would have thought you'd be able to be the police officer of your own club?
I'm Carlisle born and bred. I've been a Carlisle fan all my life. I was first sort of introduced to football around 8, and I started playing football for a team, a local team, Warwick Wanderers, when I was 10. Just fell in love with it. Live it, breathe it, watch it all the time. And now I'm lucky enough to work in that sort of area as well.
How are you doing?
If they win today, Carlisle and Johnny will go to Wembley for the final, where the winner gets promoted to League One.
Absolutely a dream come true to go to Wembley with Carlisle, work their games, and then next season do League One. Fingers crossed, 20 new stadiums. Amazing, eh? That's what it's all about.
The visiting Bradford team have already been treated to some friendly fireworks in the early hours.
Fucking get up, you lazy bastard!
Some Carlisle fans through the evening set off multiple fireworks to wake them up. As far as the tactic goes, it's banter. Is it in keeping with the spirit of the game? It's probably not, no.
In fact, yeah, it's here now. Look at that, perfect timing.
It'll be behind that one.
If you want to know anything about trains.
The cops are here to greet the Bradford supporters and also spot any potential troublemakers or risk fans.
Right, lads. Yeah, good news. How's the journey?
Because trouble's expected, the other Cumbrian DFO, Ricky Walbank from Barrow, is also here.
One of my
forte as being DFO is my interaction with the fan group. I do get invested in it, but then I do keep my professional head on at the same time.
Follow them out. Have you passed that across?
Ricky at Barrow, who I work alongside, we are like best friends. To be honest, we're more like brothers, although we look completely different. Maybe scrap that bit. I've just called him ugly. Right, start again.
Train to away, update from that Bradford train. There's 100+ low-risk fans, about 5 to 10 medium risk. Speaking to their intention to go to Woodrow Wilson to meet other fans there.
The Woodrow Wilson is one of the pubs earmarked for Bradford fans only.
So at Carlisle Bradford, there is a growing tension between both sets of fans. There's been issues through a number of the fixtures. There's a constant back and forth between both sets of fans. I wouldn't say they're great friends, put it that way.
Did you hear what they were singing then? Bradford's a shithole, but it's better than this.
Yeah. I like it when the chants have got a little bit of character about them, and there's some unique football chants.
Me as a DFO, and this is what I pass on to my OFOs, completely all about engagement.
You're outside the Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, the roof is, yeah.
My brother-in-law's ringing me, so...
He wants to go past the first spoons and come to the second. Come to where the slightly podgy policeman is.
If you've had them interactions and they've known that you're all right...
I said that, so it's all right.
Then during the game, they're more likely to listen to you and respect you because of the previous interactions you've had with them.
You mean look upon your face?
He's nervous.
You're nervous, why?
He's a Bradford fan.
Are you a Carlisle fan?
Bradford.
Are you Bradford? Oh, chicken! Bradford Coppers!
It's fickle, that. You loved me 2 minutes ago.
Change ladies, hasn't it?
I remember as a kid, 6 years old, I remember my dad saying, "Oh, if you go and join this local team, you know, I'll buy you a pair of boots." And I was desperate for a pair of football boots, but I was, believe it or not, I was quite scared at that age. Like, oh, I don't know anyone, because I came from a tiny primary school. There was only 10 of us. None of them played football, so there was other local primary schools, and I was like, I don't know anyone, Dad, but I really want the football boots. So I went, and well, one of the lads that I joined with, I remember speaking to on the first day of that first training session, after I just got my new pair of football boots. He was the best man at my wedding.
City trainers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my chance.
Are they lucky? Do you win every game when you got
I've won these for a while. Hopefully they're lucky today. You never know.
So people always say, like, it's just a game, isn't it? Football's just a game. But it's not. It is more than a game. Like, it brings people together. It brings different walks of life together. It is special.
Football, innit? You play it, you grow up with it. Get a football for Christmas, get a football for your birthday. You go kicking around with your mates when you were younger age.
You need to get your tattoo in. Turn your leg. That's no. What you
I went to the first game when I was about 4 years old with my dad. My dad was Carlisle United, so I'm Carlisle United.
As a full city, we deserve to go Wembley. It'd just be massive.
Everyone was happy, ready to go. There's a chance to go to Wembley to get promoted. I don't agree with anyone who follows football does not support their own town. I really disagree with all that, and I do. You follow Carlisle United if you're from Carlisle. That's what I say.
How are you, pal? You all right, yeah?
The cops want to keep the rival fans apart as much as they can. So when tones across the street start getting heated, it's time to get the Bradford supporters down the road and into the away stands.
Right, we'll go back out. Are you coming down with the escort, or...? Yeah.
22-8, you've got pyros in the Bradford escort.
He's been warned a couple of times in. Yeah.
There's a Flashpoint pub down here where a lot of risks go, but it's a bit further down, but it's on this side. Are you Bradford? Are you Bradford? Or are you Carlisle?
Bradford.
Are you? Right, in there then. In here. We're into here. Into there, lads. Into there, boys. Into there. Let's go across to us, mate.
As you're taking a group to the ground, it's not just because you're thinking that they're going to cause issues. You're doing it for their protection as well.
It's just making sure nothing comes back from the Carlisle side, which then riles a big group.
Obviously, you always have a tolerance level with people, but you've got to also stamp your authority and can't let too much occur that isn't allowed.
The lad at the front who's got the black jacket on, he was warned earlier on at Lloyd, caused the issues down there.
But as they get to the stadium, keeping rival fans apart gets harder.
Wind your neck in and keep going.
Carry on going.
And the banter on both sides turns nasty.
Get him moving!
When the cops move in to calm down one Bradford fan, he doesn't like it.
On the way down, he'd been behaving quite disorderly. And on the approach to the ground, he engaged with another Carlisle fan, reached out and grabbed his sunglasses off his head and resisted arrest.
Let him handcuff you! Let him handcuff you! Let him handcuff you!
For what?
The cops run a check and find he's on the police national computer.
You are known to you're on PNC, fella.
I can't be.
You are.
I've not done anything like that, honestly, mate. And it was...
Are they your right details then?
Are you known to police? Have you been locked up before?
So is that who you are?
You got any ID on you?
In that one?
I have not been locked up for all. It's an idiot thing to do, but please don't make me miss this game, mate. You know, it's not been touched, it's unopened, you can see.
Right, well, there we are.
Yeah, sorry, fella, you fella with some fish in the class here, all right?
When he was then searched, he was located on his person with some drugs.
How am I get that out after games?
Well, you won't be out now, you've got coke on you as well.
Can I go over on the court?
Probably not. I don't know, it depends what time.
Drug misuse within football has become a massive issue. People go out and they drink excessively, they misuse drugs, cocaine primarily, I'd say. And with it, that it just sees a change in people's behaviour. It does make our jobs harder. If you've got a large group who are fueled on alcohol and coke, then realistically, you've got a bit of an issue on your hands there with how they might potentially behave. When people are using drugs, they're a lot harder to engage with. Why be so daft? You've travelled to Carlisle to come and watch your team, support them, and you ended up missing the game.
I think there was 2 locked up during that.
What are 2?
Yeah.
Not a spare seat to be had here at Brompton Park this afternoon. Carlisle United know what the stakes are here today.
With the game about to kick off, rival fans are safely in separate stands with segregation lines of fences, stewards and police between them. But the cops know that might not be enough.
Once the game starts, tensions are going to get even higher now. That's it, everyone's going to go and get a bit more emotional. So at that point in my head, I'm thinking, I need to make sure that these fans do not get to each other.
Carlisle and Bradford are both hoping to make it to the most iconic football stadium in the world, Wembley. Clubs play some of their most important games here. Today, Man United play Man City for the FA Cup. Keeping the fans apart is the best way to stop things kicking off. But at Wembley, everyone comes into the same station, and all the fans are pushed together as they approach the stadium.
FA Cup final, first time the two Manchester clubs have played each other in a major final. 12 forces were involved in the operation, from Manchester all the way down to London. 99.9% of people just want to go there, enjoy the matchday experience and hopefully watch their team win. But there are a very small minority of people who want to actively seek disorder.
The cops set a line in the middle to separate the fans on each side.
Look at your side then, you fucking dickhead! Why are you coming over this side?
Mate, just take him over this side. Get him right over. Fellas, walk over the other side. All right? We're taking the conflict out of the way. Right. Because you're in this behaving like this. It's basically like a street gang. We have to try and stop that gang fighting with the other gang and ruining other people's matchday experience. Do you want to go in the game? Okay, sorry. Fucking shut up and walk up there. Hey, do you want to go in the game?
When a fan lights a flare, he's challenged and decides to run.
Back off! Joe! Hey, back off! Hey, back off, please!
When he's searched, it's not just fireworks the police find.
He's got 2 bags of Class A, and obviously...
Set a pyrotechnic off. And pushed you.
Yeah.
So, right, OK. The widespread availability of cocaine seems to be unprecedented at the minute. The last 2 seasons, I've never seen the amount of cocaine being used at football fixtures before. A lot of the people that get arrested have still got drugs on them, and it's not your hooligans, your stereotypical hooligans. It's student, scaffolder, milkman, hairdresser, whatever, but these people are taking drugs.
But for some games at Wembley, the cops never worry about the fans kicking off. Those are the ones with the most successful England team of the last 50 years on the field.
We're here today to watch the Lionesses because my daughter is a massive Lionesses fan.
We love the England boys as well, but we're all about the women now and Arsenal women's team.
England are playing Brazil in the Finalissima, but national DFO Wayne is dead relaxed.
We're expecting no issues at all, no. Probably the biggest issue we may have is lost children. We don't really have a dark side to the women's game. One of my colleagues within the FA, she describes women's football as football, but not as we know it. You'll have families turning up with packed lunches, with buggies and double buggies to get into turnstiles.
The Lionesses are playing Brazil in front of a sellout crowd, but there's barely been a crossword.
Look how far we've come on with women's football over the last decade. We've never ever dreamt of getting 85,000 people for an international game at Wembley, but now, as you can see, it's very, very busy. You see the makeup of the supporters. There's not that tribal support as there is in the men's game, so yeah, it's really encouraging for women's football.
The other two teams battling for a place at Wembley are Stockport and Salford. They're playing on the same day as Carlisle and Bradford, so England DFO Stu is here.
Cagey start, fans are a bit nervous, bit of tension in the stand. A goal would settle them down, but then obviously be buoyant for Salford. You've built your hopes and expectations up about getting promoted. You see the emotion on people's faces when they lose, when they win. It's not a matter of life or death, it's worse than that.
In by Hussey towards the far post, off the bar for Paddy Manning.
Salford came to Stockport with a 1-0 lead from the first leg, so the home team needs an early goal to keep their Wembley dreams alive. But heading into the second half, it's still 0-0.
Fans will start getting a little bit anxious, especially if Stockport don't score.
Rydell with the cross.
The Stockport goal means both teams are now in with a chance, but the longer the scoreline remains tied overall, the more likely it is that tensions will boil over in the stands.
Bolton closing in, Bolton! And Hinchcliffe was there to greet him, it took the power away from it.
So the Cops are focused on the segregation lines, where the home and away fans are closest to each other.
It's a shame that you have to keep fans apart, but whether it's something to do with lockdown, that anti-authority willingness of people to fight with stewards and police in the last couple of years has definitely been on the rise. The lower leagues this year, there's been a lot more sustained disorder with 50 people fighting, 100 people fighting. If that was at Arsenal-Tottenham, that would be all over Sky News, but because it's in a Northern League 2 National League game, it doesn't get any coverage at all.
Over in Carlisle, the other semi-final is just starting.
It's advantage Bradford after Sunday's first leg. Can Carlisle United turn this playoff tie around and make it through to Wembley?
Bradford won the first leg 1-0, so Johnny's team also needs an early goal to have the chance of playing at Wembley.
We need to get a goal first half, but I am sweating profusely and shaking.
Halliday leads the response. Here goes Banks, and the post comes to Carlisle's rescue. So busy in the middle. The flick is there, the post is there, and Moxon has a go.
I can't do this anymore. Tense.
Happy to charge on himself. And looks to get it back from Moxon. And Lewis spills it. Kicks out the pieces.
In the celebrations, a smoke bomb's thrown onto the pitch. The problem for the Cops is that with the crowd this packed, the risk fans, those most likely to throw pyros, could be anywhere.
We've got all the lot that we've walked down from Lloyd's.
They're all in here.
All in here. Everyone's
Who's over there? Notice anyone over there or not?
You've got more than a few lines just like.
The football Cops have spotted that some Carlisle risk fans have moved across the terraces to get as close as they can to the Bradford end.
They used a few Ricks who were on the segregation line over the far side, so it looks like they've migrated across. When they scored the goal, they were on the segregation line and they remained in that place, so it's down there now.
This does cause a bit of a concern. Obviously, moving to that sort of area, it's up in the stands, an area which is not exactly easy to get to, and the chances are, if emotions had spilt over it, there might be fighting on that seg line, as has been seen at other fixtures.
Some Bradford risk fans are on the move as well, but not on the terraces. Unseen by the Cops, they've got into the tunnels underneath.
Boss, the concourse gates are open between the two sets of supporters. I'm first there. I was shocked because I've never known that happen before.
A gate that separates the home and away stands has been forced open.
As you see fans coming together, the first thing that's going through your mind is, we've got to stop it. We've got to stop it. You've got to get through that melee, a bit like a raging bull. You've got to worm your way through as quickly as possible.
Force the seg line in the concourse. As a dedicated football officer, you may be that community engagement role in the morning where you're having photographs and selfies with children, with fans groups, and then you've got to immediately switch from that community police officer to that enforcement police officer.
It is a heightened situation. People are swinging punches at that point, but you go into ultra-professional mode.
The cops first have to get the segregation gate closed. And then separate the two groups of fans now trapped in the tunnels.
If it's not dealt with immediately, it can then escalate into a far more serious incident.
I don't want someone completely innocent to get hurt. The game's going on, and there's a certain group of people just wanting to fight each other. It's the biggest game for each club in years. And they're not even watching the game. They're in the concourse wanting to knock 10 bells out of each other. It really just, it blows my mind. It just proves that some people aren't there to watch the football, and they are there to cause disorder with each other. And it's mad. It really is mad. I have no idea why they do it.
On some occasions you are scared. That's natural, it's a natural response to stress.
Your nerves are going. You've got thousands of fans in that concourse area. Obviously going in as police officer into that sort of environment, are you going to be welcome? You're obviously going to think the worst, what sort of risk of injury and stuff like that. Your adrenaline gets going, it's hectic, it's crowded. But realistically, it's your job. That's what you're paid to do, go into those sort of situations and try and do your best to make it right.
Are you going down there, right here?
The cops' priority is to get the innocent fans who were caught in the tunnel out safely.
Right, have a good one, pal.
That situation, if it wasn't for the actions of the officers, quick thinking, it could have been carnage.
It was them guys. Okay, sit down. Right, let yourselves up there then.
Walk in. Listen, do your job. Right. There's fucking some idiots that get out of here. But you know what? Well done.
Cheers, pal.
Well done.
Going to extra time.
In Stockport, the game's gone into extra time, so it might be heading for penalties.
And the effort is brilliant! Stevie Mallon! Salford City have never, ever been to League One!
But then the visitors score.
He's stressed. I think everyone in the stand is the stadium.
Crushing the Wembley dreams of the home fans.
Salford have woken up. They've changed it a little bit now because we've gone from potentially a large-scale pitching invasion to thinking about how we're going to protect the away fans on their way back out of Stockport from unhappy Stockport fans. But then they might score again in a minute, so who knows?
They are queuing up Sartovic in the mix, and the header is in! Chat sprinting!
Yeah, so again, dynamics ever-changing. Stewards have now got into defensive mode. The Cheadle end we've had, you can see behind me, Stockport supporters surging on Salford fans in the corner. So literally, in a flash, dynamics have changed massively in the fixture at the minute.
With the game still drawn after extra time, it does now go to penalties. The cops have to plan for agony and ecstasy on each side and the risk of some very angry losers.
The game goes to penalties. It's having plans in place and people ready, because as soon as that winning penalty goes in, it could be the 5th penalty, it could be the 10th penalty. You've got to be ready to react. You might have a solo pitch runner that runs on to attack an opposing player, or you could have 5,000 people emptying out the stands.
Long steps up and he blazes it over the top.
You're throwing around different scenarios in your head of possibilities that things might happen.
He shoots out, he rifles it.
Dog, isn't it?
You could pretty much guess that people are going to go on the pitch, especially if it's a home victory.
Until to the end of the season, up he steps and it's saved by Hitchcock.
This is it, win it. This goes in, that's it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Fans start moving down out of their seats towards the edge of the pitch.
Come down a little bit. Penalty shootout down here, if they win it. You know why.
Anticipating a victory, and it just takes seconds for them to run on.
Huge moment here. Sasovic steps on, he scores!
My role was to observe that there was no major offences within the pitch invasion. Because although they've been promoted, they're going to Wembley, we're still getting those few individuals who assaulted players, assaulted officials. People think, oh, why don't the police stop them? Why don't the stewards stop them? You would need an army of police, an army of stewards to stop people that are intent getting onto the pitch.
Did you ever go to football matches when you were a kid?
Yes, I went to football matches when I was a kid.
Did you ever run on the pitch?
No, I've never run on the pitch.
The other semi-final kicked off first, so now the teams in Carlisle know one of them will face Stockport at Wembley. But the game here is also drawn at full time, so after the short break, they'll play an extra 30 minutes.
Obviously, if it's a home win, we're never going to stop them getting on the pitch. So make sure your staff know they're not to try and grab anybody, they're not to try and run after anybody. Our job is literally to make sure that we support the stewards by keeping them apart. So if Bradford try and come on, or Carlisle come on, we've got that line between just to stop it escalating into disorder.
We're going to deploy down to the dugouts and the tunnel there. There's myself, Wayne and Jamie will go there.
The police work in teams of 8, known as serials. For the end of the game, they'll be in full riot gear. The cops call their helmets NATOs.
Final, please go and check your serials, make sure they're all dressed the same hats, same, you know, whatever dress it is that they've got on. NATO's clip just for that final phase, just in case there's any missiles coming or outside. And good luck.
The risk of pitch invasion and the sort of what we've seen historically with, like, in other playoff fixtures, which we plan for, is the potential for, like, there to be people targeted. A few years back, it was Sheffield United, and one of their players was targeted by another fan.
Now, the PFA have called for a review of matchday security and fan disorder after Sheffield United's Billy Sharp was left needing stitches after being attacked during the pitch invasion that followed Nottingham Forest's win over Sheffield United last night.
Pitch invasions have been going on forever and are usually harmless. The challenge for the cops is that things can turn nasty.
Ugly scenes now, I'm afraid, as hordes of Newcastle fans are streaming onto the pitch. This is the one thing we didn't want to see.
Dreadful scenes here at Selhurst Park.
Dozens of fans invaded the pitch, forcing the referee to stop play and prompting anxious appeals from club officials. Referee Roger Wiseman was injured and escorted from the pitch. A woman constable also had to be helped off the field.
When there's a pitch invasion now, protecting the players and the ref is a priority.
Our plan to ensure with pitch invasion that area was covered to try and get them off and minimise any sort of harm to them.
Might drop onto the boot of Guy though, and in it goes!
8 minutes into extra time, Carlisle scores, and on the segregation line, some fans start throwing bottles over at the Bradford crowd.
There's missiles towards the Bradford away. There's also a number of pitch incursions. I don't know if they managed to get all the lads in like a Burberry top on.
A Carlisle fan runs across the pitch and disappears into the stands. With 20 tense minutes still to go, the police commander wants him arrested to stop others doing the same.
Sorry, Kim, can't hear you.
But they have to find him first.
See the guy with the cricket hat and the red and blue rating on the
Yeah.
shirt? Sat in front of him and he's
Oh, yeah. With a CP on.
It's him.
So the lad who's sat on the floor said it's not the long hair, and he's got ginger hair. Which is Liam Gilmore. And I was telling him to get off the chair.
1744, that lad managed to sneak off in the crowd, I believe. Where is he? No idea. The lad who was a pitch encroachment, he's managed to evade stewards in here.
You enter into there and obviously the fans know why you're going in there.
Did he come over the pitch? I came right across.
And he was using someone else's clothes to try and hide himself, disguise himself. However, he was very distinctive with his ginger hair.
The stewards have spotted him and Johnny makes the arrest.
Just tell him to get his hands up. I'll take him. What are you doing, man? Going on? Well, you're getting locked up, aren't you? That's the... Just let us go. I'll go. I'll leave. I'll go home. The boss is one. I'll go home. The boss is one. Adrenaline, I know. Hey, lads, I was walking out. There's no grab. No. It was when you said, I'm not going in. No, when you said it was them, and then you grabbed it. Yeah, but what the issue was, I'll leave. I'll go home. Half the issue was your mate started grabbing. No, that's why I calmed it down. That's it. No, because you had to. I did. And you'll start. You ran me across.
My initial thoughts when going on the pitch was the stupidity behind it. The game wasn't wrapped up at this point.
I'll leave. The male who's been detained for the pitch encroachment, it's Matthew Reid, aka Wizard. I know. It was just adrenaline we've scored here.
That's supposed to be Brad in 10 years.
Yeah, I'm surprised my hamstring's stuck.
Pitch encroachment carries with it a potential for a football banning order, and realistically, he just committed an offence where the likelihood of getting a ban was quite high, and he was going to miss out on Wembley.
You're under arrest for pitch encroachment. Do you not say anything but may I defence you not mention a question to you later, like, oh, every do say make it evidence. Do you understand? Right. We're not going to handcuff you and stand you up. But if you run off, then that's a worse offence than going on the pitch. Does that make sense? I've sat down for about 20 minutes, man. I'm not walking with it, but I've been all right with these. I'm not going to be fair, I'm not going to cause a scene. It's a free gap, man. End of the day, it's adrenaline, Carl. Especially on Sky. Aye. No, oh, shit. Aye, why my dad's in bed, I don't watching this at all, man. Why did that go under the radar?
But while Johnny's arresting Whizzer, Bradford score, levelling the semi-final again. With 15 minutes left, this game might also go to penalties.
A lot of the old school risks are on here, so I don't know if we can get another serial in the ground to go, I don't know, across here.
Ricky spotted a group of Risk fans in the stand and gaps in the police line in front of them.
It's still weak here.
If it remains like this, obviously we're going to penalties, and then the penalties are going to take place at this side of the stadium. So obviously we've got the group across there, we've got the away section, and we've also got the segregation line as well to contend with, which has already been breached.
There's not enough cops here because they come down there. Yeah. We need another serial.
Tensions are going to get even higher now. Everyone's going to go and get a bit more emotional. So you know there's going to be something around the corner. You can have the best plans in the world, but there could be something that does occur.
I'll give you a quick search whilst we're doing this, get it over and done with.
As the cops inside prepare for penalties, Johnny, a lifelong Carlisle fan, is still outside with Whizzer, missing the game.
I know, mate, I know.
As I was dealing with Whizzer, Bradford equalised, and we both looked at each other and we knew that this was not great news for Carlisle.
It's £1,000 fine for a man for absolutely nix.
He'd run across there when the game hadn't been concluded. The win wasn't guaranteed. So yeah, there was a lot of different thought processes going at that point. Mainly, was I going to get to Wembley?
But with just 8 minutes to go, there's another goal.
Hey, Whizzer, we're going to Wembley. You're not.
With Carlisle a goal up, there's just a few nervous minutes to go. And Johnny's finally getting back in to see if he and his team are heading for Wembley.
Wait, don't spoil it. Yes!
You could feel the nervousness around the ground. Penalties isn't the one. As any football fan will say, you don't want to have to go to penalties. The highs and lows of that. Winning on penalties is ecstasy. Losing, horrendous.
He was really nervous, and so obviously, as a caring mate, you really pick up on that and you wind him up a little bit more.
If they lose, he cries today.
If we win, I cry. This team is today.
However, I'm here for you.
The cops are getting ready for whatever happens at the final whistle.
Full time here when Carlisle have won and secured Wembley. There's going to be a mass pitch invasion anticipated. It's just to make sure that the Bradford players and coaching staff aren't subject to any harm, stuff like that. These lads are obviously going to go on and celebrate. However, we need to make sure the Bradford players and coaching staff get down there and tunnel out the way.
So we're just working out, obviously, we've gone quite cup heavy here, which is needed. Yeah, the dynamics, obviously now, given what's happened in the concourse as well, the ante's obviously upped on the seg line, we're gesturing between the two lots of fans. There's been some missiles coming from this way, over here. It's getting to the business end of the game as well, so tension's just gone up.
Being a football fan helps me in my role as a DFO because, like I say, you understand the dynamics. You know when the atmosphere is changing, if there's a lot on the line. You can feel the tension building up between the two sets of supporters. At football games, you could have someone's granddad, someone's granddaughter, and I don't want any of them getting hurt, because if that was my granddad or my daughter getting hurt, I'd want the police officer to step in and take action and do it. So I always use that theory in my head.
Carlisle are going to Wembley. As thousands of home fans run onto the pitch to celebrate, the police form a line across one corner to protect the players, officials and the Bradford supporters. The vast majority of fans are just having fun. But a few want to taunt the opposition. And some idiots even start to throw coins and bottles.
About 10 missiles just coming from the pitch into the Bradford end again.
A Bradford fan is hit by something thrown from the pitch.
Just so you're aware, there is an injured Bradford fan in the away end that's been hit with a missile.
There was some missiles thrown from off the pitch from Carlisle fans at the Bradford sort of away end there. As a result, there was some positive work done, and there was one male identified, arrested, and he went to court for that matter.
But for most of the Carlisle crowd, it's just sheer joy as they let it sink in that they're through to the final at Wembley.
So at that point, I'm concentrating on my job, doing what I'm doing, but in the back of my head, I know that Johnny's over there absolutely whimpering his eyes, his water coming down his cheeks, because he was crying that Carlisle had got to Wembley. Very emotional boy.
Got arrested for it, so ended up getting a fine, £505 fine, 3-year ban.
Do it again?
Hopefully not. The kind of memories you can take with you, but not the right memories. But like you say, I've hurt no one, so up the blues.
Assisted by former teammates with a candid look back on a famous forwards record-breaking rise to the top. Stream Rooney now. Next tonight, bringing their popular podcast to Channel 4, Alistair Campbell and Rory Stewart present The Rest is Politics, election special.